Welcome to Litbit channel. Today we will see Understanding India 4th unit, second topic, continuity and the changes of the Indian social structure, caste, communication, gender, family and marriage. Let's we see caste system in India. What is caste? The caste system is a social hierarchy that divides peoples into group based on birth, occupation and social status. Rooted in Indian history, it governs social relationship, marriage, occupation and daily life. Although it's often associated with Hinduism, it is also affected other religions in India. Definition: caste is a system where individuals are born into a specific groups and expected to fulfill certain roles. It determines a person's social positions, access to the resource and opportunities. The system was once rigid, making it difficult for people to change their caste. So, caste in India, the caste system is divided into four main categories. First one is Brahmins, priests and scholars. Next one is Kshatriya, warriors and rulers. Next one is Vaishyas, merchants and farmers. Next one is Sudras, they are labor and service providers. Next one is Dalits, formerly known as untouchables or outside the systems and faced discrimination. Next one is factors and broad changes in the caste system. Several factors from transformed the caste systems over time. Legal reforms, law abolished untouchability and caste-based discrimination. Next one is modernization. Industrializations and migrations to cities reduced caste-based occupation. Next one is education. So it's a more educational opportunity to lead to greater social mobility. Next one is social movement. That's a leader like Dr. Ambedkar and Mahatma Gandhi worked for Dalits' rights and reforms. At last, we will see globalization. Exposures to global ideas decreased the importance of caste in daily life. Next one is causes of the caste system. Religious and cultural beliefs, that is, religious texts justified the caste systems, reinforcing ideas of purity and pollution. Next one is divisions of labor. Caste systems were based on specific job, creating a divisions of labor. Next one is historical inequality. The systems have held inequality by concentrating power with the upper caste. Next one is social control. It helped maintain the dominance of certain groups over others. Next one is effects of the caste system. First one is social inequality. That is, lower caste faced discriminations and lacked opportunity. Next one is untouchability. Dalits faced exclusions and were often humiliated or oppressed. Next one is economic disparities. The systems limited economic mobility for lower caste. Social segregation, caste division lead to social isolation and barriers between groups. Merits of caste systems. First one is division of labor. It organized socially with specific duties for each caste. Next one is social order. It created a sense of order by assigning clear roles. So demerits of caste system. Social discrimination. It creates a hierarchy that oppressed lower caste. Next one is lack of mobility. It restricted individuals from changing their status or occupation. Next one, perpetuations of inequality. It entranced social divisions and limited growth. Next one is social conflict. Caste-based intentions lead to violence and unrest. Characteristics of the caste system: it's a hereditary caste or determined by birth, not choice. Next one, endogamy. It's marrying within one's caste is expected. Heterarchical. The system is structured with the Brahmins at the top and Dalits at the bottom. Then occupation based. It is caste or traditionally linked to specific jobs. Next one, social segregations. Caste are physically and socially separated. Continuity and changes in the caste system. The caste systems has been a defining features of Indian society, influencing relationships and roles. Despite legal effects and social movement, caste still influence identity, particularly in the roles. In urban areas, caste distinctions are less noticeable and intercaste marriage are becoming more accepted. In conclusion part, the caste systems has shaped Indian society for centuries, creating inequality and discrimination. While progress has been made through legal reforms, education, and social movements, caste-based discrimination continues, particularly in rural areas. Ongoing efforts toward social integrations, economic development, and education are essential to eliminate caste discriminations and blind a more equal society. Let's we see communication. What is communication in Indian society? Communication in Indian society refers to how people share information, idea, and emotions influenced by Indian cultures, linguistic, and social diversity. It helps maintain social bonds, share knowledge, and reinforce tradition, playing an essential role in daily life. Definition of communication. Communication is the exchange of message through verbal and non-verbal means. In India, this happens in many language and forms such as spoken words, bodily language, or written communication, and is vital for building relationship and understanding within communities. In Indian society, language is a crucial part of communication in India with over 1600 languages spoken. Language connects peoples and reflects their cultural and regional identities. Hindi and English are commonly used for official purpose, while regional languages like Tamil, Bengali, and Marathi are widely spoken. Multilingualism in India. India is a multilingualism country with many peoples speaking more than one language. The constitutions recognize 22 languages and peoples often switch languages based on context. While multilingualism fosters cultural diversity, it can also create language barriers. Types of communication in India. First one is verbal communication. People communicate using spoken words or mixturing language. Next one is non-verbal communication. Communication is also occurs through gesture, body language, and facial expression. Next one is written communication. Written forms like letter, newspaper, and digital media are common, often in different languages. Stages of communication in India. Communication in India is multilingual, often formal in professional setting, and influenced by cultural norms, respect, indirect speech, and use of honorifics are common in many communities. Merits of communication in Indian society. Communication promotes cultural diversity, social cohesion, and educational access. It also brings economic benefits as multilingual communication aids in business and trade too. Demerits of communication in Indian society. Language barriers can create miscommunications, and unequal access to language education can disadvantage some people. The preference for English can also marginalize regional language, threatening cultural identity. Factor influencing communication in India. Cultural diversity, education, technology, and social hierarchies all influence communications. Regional traditions and social status often dictate how people communicate, and the rise of digital platforms has brought significant changes to the way of people interact. Characteristics of communication in India. Indian communications often involves indirectness, respect for hierarchy, non-verbal cues, and community-based interaction. Communication is shaped by family, caste, and community, with language being a significant identity maker. Continuity and changes in communication. While the traditional communication in India has been shaped by oral practice and social hierarchies, modern technology and the internet have transformed how people communicate. English has gained prominence, and young people are now more created globally, breaking traditional communication boundaries. Conclusion part. Communication in India is shaped by its cultural, linguistic, and social diversity. While it fosters unity and growth, it also presents challenges such as language barriers and inequality. Overcoming these requires inclusivity in language education and bridging cultural divides. Let's see gender in Indian society. Gender in Indian society is a socially constructed concept that defines the role, responsibilities, and expectations assigned to individual based on their biological sex. The concept has deep root in tradition, culture, religion, and social norms, and its implications are wide range, affecting every aspect of life. Gender in Indian society. First one, cultural and social roles. Men are traditionally seen as breadwinners and protectors. Women are often associated with caregiving and household responsibilities. In economic role, men dominate most professional space, while women's participation in the workforce is comparatively lower. Informal and unpaid labor by women often goes unrecognized. In political role, representations of women in politics is growing but remaining limited. Partially, norms often limited women's leadership opportunities. In religious role, religion often assigned distinct role to men and women, reinforcing stereotypes. Practice like the preference for male priest or restrictions on women's temple entry highlight gender disparities. Characteristics of gender in Indian society. Partial structure. Society is largely male dominant with men holding decision making power. In intersectionality, gender interacts with caste, class, religions, and region, leading to varied experience for individuals. Next one, inequality. Gender-based disparities except in education, health, employment, and personal freedom. Then fluidity and resistance. Despite stereotype, there are movements and individuals challenging traditional roles. Merits of gender roles. Cultural continuity in traditional roles preserves cultural heritage. Specialization assigned role can stimulate responsibilities and efficiency in some context. Then support system. Gender norms sometimes create a structure that offers stability in family and community. Merits of gender role. It is discrimination, unequal access to opportunities and resources, particularly for women and LGBTQ plus individuals. Stereotyping limits individuals' potential by confining their predefining roles. In violence and exploitations, gender-based violence, including domestic violence, dowry death, and honor killing, precedes. In economic loss and underutilizations of women and marginalized genders in the workforce hamper economic growth. Causes of gender role. It is historical and cultural norms, deep-rooted, traditional, often favor male dominance. In education gap, lower literacy and education rates among women reinforce inequality. In economic disparity, women often lack financial independence, perpetuating gender imbalance. Though law exists, poor enforcement limit their impact. Effects of gender role. It is socially inequality. Gender bias perpetuate class, caste, and economic divides. In economic loss, a gender gap in workforce participations reduce GDP growth. In mental and physical health, gender roles and expectations can lead to stress, mental health issues, and physical violence. In restricted development, limits individuals from achieving their full potentials, impacting national congress. Continuity and changes in gender role. In continuity, traditional gender roles have been a significant part of Indian society with clearly defined roles for men and women. Men have historically been seen as the breadwinners responsible for economic provisions, while women were responsible for household duties and child rearing. Patriarchy, where men hold primary power in political, social, and economic spheres, has been the dominant structure. In change over the past few decades, significant change have occurred in terms of gender equality. Women's roles have expanded beyond the home, with many now pursuing education, employment, and political participation. The feminist movement in India has played a crucial role in raising awareness about women's rights and challenging gender-based discrimination. Legal reforms such as the Domestic Violence Act 2005 and the Sexual Harassment of Women Act Workplace Act 2013 have aimed to protect women's rights. However, gender-based violence, discriminations, and social pressures remains pervasive in many parts of the country, especially in rural area. Gender role are increasingly being questioned, with men also taking on more household responsibility and women seeking greater autonomy and career opportunity. One part, gender in Indian society is a complex and evoking concept shaped by historical, cultural, and social factors. While traditional gender roles have their place in preserving cultural identity, they also perpetuate significant inequalities. Progress requires a collective effort to challenge stereotype, ensure equal opportunities, and embrace inclusivity, enabling all individuals, regardless of gender, to thrive and contribute meaningfully to society. Let's we see family in Indian society. Family in Indian society is a foundational social unit that deeply influenced individuals' value, beliefs, and behavior. Rooted in tradition, culture, and religion, it provides stability, cohesion, and plays a vital role in social organization. And definitions of family: a family is a group of individuals connected by blood, marriage, or adoptions, living together and sharing emotional, financial, and social responsibilities. In India, the concept often extends beyond nuclear family to include joint and extended families. Role of family in Indian society: the family serves as a primary institution for socializing children, transmitting value, and preserving traditions. It provides emotional and financial support, functions as a caregiving unit, and historically served as an economic production system, especially in agriculture and business. Characteristics of family in Indian society: in Indian, families are often partial, with decision making power resting with the eldest. Interdependence, respect for elders, and are heavily influenced by religious customs. Joint family systems, where extended relatives living together, remains common through nuclear families or on the rise. Merits of family in Indian society: families in Indian offers a strong support system, ensuring emotional and financial stability for members. They preserve cultural practice, foster social harmony, and enables better management of shared resources, particularly in joint family system. Demerits of family in Indian society: partial structures often lead to gender inequality and limit women's autonomy. Joint families can face conflict over property and responsibilities, while overcrowded living arrangements may restrict privacy and individual freedom. Generational difference can also create tensions. In causes of family issues, economic pressures, urban migrations, and modernization contribute to the breakdown of traditional family system. Changing lifestyles, increasing awareness of individual rights, and financial change further strains family relationship and structure. Effects of family in the family: breakdowns can lead to emotional stress, neglect of elderly members, and cultural erosions. Children often experience a development issue, and the weakening of family ties impact the transmissions of traditions and social cohesion. Types of family in Indian society: in Indian, family vary from joint family, where extended relatives living under one roof, or to nuclear families comprising parents and children. Other forms include extended families maintaining close ties despite separate residence, single parent families, and childless families. Continuity of the family relationship: the family unit has always been central to Indian society, providing emotional, social, and economic support. The traditional joint family system, where extended families living together, sharing resources and responsibilities, has remained a dominant family structure in many parts of India. This system emphasizes collective welfare and respect for elders, and it helps maintain social harmony and order. In changes with urbanizations and modernization, the nuclear family system, comprising only parents and their children, has become increasingly prevalent, particularly in urban areas. Factors such as migration for job, as more women join the workforce and attains financial independence, family structures are becoming more egalitarian with shared decision making between spouses. The importance of individual autonomy is also on the rise, with the younger generation seeking importance from traditional family norms. However, family remains an important unit, and values such as respect for elders and strong family ties continue to influence Indian social life. Conclusion part: the family in Indian society is a dynamic institution that blends traditions with modernity. While it remains essential for support, care, and cultural preservation, it faces challenges from urbanization and evolving social norms. Strengthening family bonds and embracing equality are key to sustaining its positive role. Let's we see marriage in Indian society. Marriage in Indian society is a sacred institution that forms the foundations of family life, deeply rooted in culture, religions, and tradition. It is viewed not just as a union of two individuals but as a bond between family, playing a crucial role in Indian cohesion. Definition of marriage: marriage is a socially or legally recognized union between two individuals that establish their rights and responsibilities towards each other. Their children and their families in India, it is often seen as a lifelong commitment and as a religious sacrament. Then, role of marriage in Indian society: marriage forms families and the basic units of society and ensures social order by upholding social cultural value. It provides companionship and emotional support, preserves traditions, and contributes economically by strengthening family ties and resources. Types of marriage in Indian society. Marriage in India include arranged marriages where families choose partners, love marriage based on mutual affection, intercaste and interfaith marriages that challenges traditional norms, and through less common and not legally recognized national-wide same-sex union reflecting modern inclusivity. And characteristics of marriage in Indian society: Indian marriages are deeply religious, family centered, and often involves community participation. While traditionally viewed as lifelong commitments, challenges such as the dowry system and evolving societal norms influence and marital practice. Merits of marriage in Indian society. Marriage ensures societal stability, emotional security, and economic cooperation between families. It also helps preserve cultural heritage and foster mutual support among the parents. Demerits of marriage in Indian society: gender inequality, dowry practice, family pressure, and potential incompatibility are common challenges. These issues often lead to disputes, financial strain, and restrictions on personal freedom. Causes of material issues: economic pressure, cultural expectation, and modernization can strain relationship. Additionally, lack of communication and changing roles within family contribute to conflict. Effects of marital problems. Marital issues can resulting in divorce or separation, emotional distress, negative impact on children, and social stigma. They also affect mental health and distribute family dynamics. Continuity and challenge in marriage practice. Traditionally arranged marriage, dowry practice, and endemic persists, especially in rural area. However, urbanization has brought changes like increased love marriage, intercaste union, and delayed marriage driven by education and care aspiration. In conclusion part, marriage in Indian society is a dynamic institution balancing traditions and modernity. While it preserves cultural identity and societal stability, addressing challenges like gender inequality and dowry practice is essential. Emphasizing respect, equality, and mutual understanding can help adapt to marriage contemporary realities. Thank you, viewers. Thanks for watching this video.